school and college age women talking about how it's difficult to concentrate on their schoolwork. They're just having too much trouble to focus because of all the anxiety they're experiencing. And certainly, absolutely reach out for help before you get to any type of anxiety level that could be harmful to you or cause you to have suicidal thoughts.
So, Katie, and we'll talk about how to reach out for help.
Yes.
Can you talk a little bit about depression?
Yeah, depression is a real misnomer because...
Are you seeing a lot of it in your practice right now?
I am seeing a lot of it. I'm seeing a lot of mixed anxiety with depression. That is the most prevalent thing that I'm seeing.
What does depression look like?
Well, depression, it's not so much what you see in the movies necessarily, where people are crying all day long, all night long. Most of the people who come to me describe their symptoms of depression as being just like flat, like a flat line, just sort of gray, and not feeling motivated to get anything done, and losing interest in things that used to bring you pleasure. And
how debilitating for a college student to suffer from depression when you have all this workload and academics and graduating.
Right.
So when should somebody ask for help when they're suffering from depression?
Well, so again, we want to look at this area right here of functioning. And by that, it's like, are you able to get up and go to school? Right now, everybody's virtual. Are you able to participate, show up for life? Are you able to do relationships with other people? If these areas of life are being impacted by symptoms of depression or anxiety, it's time to reach out and ask for some help.
Well, I know today that you wanted to walk us through one of the strategies that you teach your clients when they're suffering from some mild anxiety or mild depression. Can you talk us through this?
Yeah, what I'd like for everyone to do, if possible, is just get yourself grounded, get yourself as centered as you can, and we're going to breathe in for 5. I'm going to do a deep breathing technique. This is to bring your body back to homeostasis and back to balance when you're feeling emotionally flooded. A lot of people describe it as like the dam has broken in my brain and the emotions just come flooding in and you can't get calmed down. So what you can do is breathe in through your nose, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold and tighten your hands, 3, 4, and exhale through your mouth and relax, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you're going to want to do that 5 times in a row when you're actually doing this exercise. It will bring your frontal lobes back online, so to speak. It really does work. A lot of people say, I don't want to do the deep breathing, but I'm like, if you do it, it really, really will help you.
So tell us about this strategy, about the steps to this strategy about visualizing yourself as a small child.
Well, if we happen to have this knee-jerk response to ourselves, where if we make a mistake or if we're having a hard time, we tend to talk to ourselves in the worst way. We treat ourselves very poorly.
I call it your assassin's voice.
Yes, the critic's voice or the assassin's voice, exactly. And what you can do is, after you take those deep breaths and get yourself sort of calmed down into a centered, grounded place, visualize yourself as a small child. I bet you were the cutest little child ever.
You were. Oh my gosh.
I bet you were. So visualize yourself as a small child and just imagine that this child has come to you and they're crying and they've made a mistake. You will not turn around and yell at them or hit them or anything like that. You want to handle this from your adult self and use compassion, use reassurance and unconditional love. Do this with yourself. Place your hand on your heart and say, what would I say to my very best friend?
Katie, what I would say to little scared Rabia is, it's going to be okay. That just breathe. And I would talk to her.
Right.
Yeah. I would give her compassion and unconditional love. I would allow her to be scared and cry and allow her to feel all her feelings.
Yes. Yeah. Should we check in and see if we've got any questions so far?
Yes, absolutely. So
since we can't see the chat bar, we'd love to know if anybody has any comments or questions.
Yeah, let's go into that. All right.
kindness, bravery, and forgiveness. Oh, I love it.
Okay.
Curiosity, perseverance, and leadership. Awesome.
Tiffany has a love of learning, leadership, and forgiveness. Sonam says kindness, love, and gratitude. Vivian says love, appreciation of beauty, and zest. I like zest. She sounds like fun. Lexi says honesty, humor, and perseverance. Yeah. Ooh, I love it. Sarah wrote them on her arms.
Excellent. You won't forget.
Okay, awesome. All right, well, let's see what questions we have. What is it like to share your full self with everyone, Sarah asked. What if people give you hatred for your choices? If you divorced a stranger and a stranger decides to say something nasty, what would that story be something you share to your safe space, or would you go public? I'm thinking about this from the LGBTQTI community. What a wonderful question.
This is a great one for you, Rabia.
Yeah, so the first thing I would say is, what a smart question, Sarah, because no, you cannot just run out. When you are in a place of exploring your identity, getting grounded in your identity, there's a lot of work that has to happen. You need to create a community of people that are holding your hand. You know, I walked alone, and I don't recommend that.
Yeah, you need support.
You need support. You need a mental health professional like Katie. Or you need
Rabia.
Or other safe friends, or a safe online community. And once you feel really grounded and supported, and you feel healed from the pain of your experience of being rejected and ostracized, you can then reach out and you're ready to heal others. But until you've done the work, and I know my story, I told it in a quick 5 minutes, but that was 10 years of identity development and 10 years of building courage.
Right.
It did not happen overnight.
It takes time. And it does get better, I think, with time.
Yes. And I think just like Katie didn't get a chance to share her story, but Katie has another story about resilience that she overcame, and she parented herself.
Yeah.
She didn't have a trusted adult to help her with a lot of the trauma that she experienced. Mm-hmm. And once she healed herself, she has passionately become a healer for others. And I think that that's a journey that the self-healing has to happen first before you come out and share your story.
Right.
Whether you want to be an advocate for others, whether you want to be a healer for others, you know, you'll get there. Just give yourself time, is what I would say to Sarah.
Let's see what else is going. So these are, okay, great. We've got a lot of good answers for that first exercise.
What Peyton asked, do we have any advice for talking to a friend or family member that you see struggling with anxiety or depression?
Right. Absolutely. I think that, you know, to be a good listener, to be non-judgmental, to hear what somebody is saying and maybe be able to just repeat back to them. So what I hear you saying is that you're feeling blank, so that the other person really feels heard. And then you can offer them the supportive information or resources. Here we're going to put some resources up on the screen for help, so that if you ever come in contact with anybody who's having a life-threatening emergency, where they're feeling so hopeless that they're thinking, unfortunately, about suicide or something along those lines, definitely go to the nearest ER. Take them to the emergency room, and you'll need to have a mental health crisis evaluation done. There's the number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. This is a great resource. There's even a COVID-19 emotional support line now. And the students at Georgia Tech are fortunate enough to have your own counseling office there, and we've put the phone number here on the bottom of the screen. If anybody ever wanted to reach me, they could call this number here on the screen.
Do you do telehealth sessions?
I do. Okay. Because I've been vaccinated, I'm starting to phase back into seeing people in person, but I'm also offering Zoom or just telephone calls, telehealth. Yeah, telemental health as well.
Awesome. And then, not related to anxiety or depression, but once you overcome those emotional difficulties and you're wanting to work on leadership, career coaching, you're ready to set those goals in motion, I would be a great resource for you.